All right, so let's have a look at word equation and symbol equation. Word equation uses the names of the reactants and product to show what happened in a chemical reaction. And so the example we want to use is when sulfur turns to oxygen to produce sulfur dioxide. In this situation, the word equation for such a reaction will just be sulfur plus oxygen producing sulfur dioxide. So word equation is simple. We just write the names of the elements involved and the product that we will get in that particular reaction. What about symbol equation? Symbol equation uses the formula of the reactants and products to show what happens in a chemical reaction. Word equation uses the names of the element, whereas symbol equation uses the formula of the reactants and products in that reaction. A symbol equation must be balanced to give the correct ratio of reactants and product so that the names of each type of atom is the same on both sides of the equation. So here, if we use the same example we use for the word equation, where sulfur is burning oxygen to produce sulfur dioxide, this time around, we're going to have S, which is the symbol for sulfur, plus O2, which is the symbol for oxygen, given as SO2, which is the symbol of sulfur dioxide. The only difference is that in the case of symbol equation, we are using what? The formula of the reactants and products in the reaction. Again, we will have to balance the equation, and then subsequently we will look at adding state symbols. So where the equation is just the names of the elements, and symbol equation involves the use of what? Symbols, the use of the formula and symbols of the elements and compounds in the reaction. So if we look at this symbol equation, it shows us that one atom of oxygen reacted with one molecule of one atom of sulfur reacted with one molecule of oxygen to produce one molecule of sulfur dioxide. And so here we have one S and two lots of oxygen atom to give us what? One um, sulfur molecule. Now, let's look at some examples here. What is the word equation for magnesium reaction with oxygen to produce magnesium oxide? Pause the video and have a go. What is the word equation for magnesium reaction with oxygen to produce magnesium reaction? Feel free to pause the video and have a go. So here we will simply have the name of magnesium plus oxygen giving us magnesium oxide. That is word equation. It's as simple as that. You cannot miss a two marker questions like this. You just put the names. You only need to know the names of the elements involved and the product that will be produced. Okay. Another examples here. Here, write the word equations for the following reactions. Sodium hydroxide reacting with hydrochloric acid to produce sodium chloride and water. B, decomposition of magnesium carbonate into magnesium and carbon dioxide. 3, aluminium burning in air to produce aluminium oxide. Write the word equation for these three reactions. Feel free to pause the video and have a go. Pause the video and have a go. So here we have sodium hydroxide reacting with hydrochloric acid to produce sodium chloride and water. We will simply write the names of the elements. We got sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid, giving us sodium chloride and water. B, we have decomposition of magnesium carbonate to produce magnesium and carbon dioxide. Simply write the names of the reactant, which is magnesium carbonate. Magnesium carbonate is breaking down into its constituent element. And in this case, we're going to have magnesium and carbon dioxide. Just the name and the product, and you are good to go. Another example here, aluminium burning in air to produce aluminium oxide. And so we're going to have just aluminium oxygen, and then we have aluminium oxide. That is the word equations for these three reactions. Another example here, this time around, we are writing the symbol equation. Sorry about the instruction. It's supposed to be symbol equation. So we are using again the same reaction, sodium hydroxide reacting with hydrochloric acid to produce sodium chloride and water. So we're going to have NaOH, which is sodium hydroxide. We are using the formula plus HCl hydrochloric acid to give us sodium chloride and water. For B, we have magnesium carbonate decomposing or breaking down into magnesium and carbon dioxide. And C, aluminium burning in air, burning meaning that is reacting with oxygen. So we got aluminium burning in the air, i.e. reacting with oxygen to produce aluminium oxide. Now, this is balance. We will look at balancing of equation later on. When we write symbol equation, we've got to balance it. The top ones are not balanced. We will come to balancing equation subsequently in the series. Now, let's look at how we can interpret symbol equation. Now, in symbol equation, if you remember, we said that we use formula if it involves a compound or symbol if it is an element to represent what happens in a chemical reaction. And so let's see what it involves when we have a formula, what the formula tells us. In this case, the example I'm using is sodium chloride. Now we have NaCl. How many elements are in this compound and what are they? Pause the video and have a go. How many elements are in this and what are they? Pause the video and have a go. So here we have two elements. They are sodium and chlorine. Another example here, Fe2O3. How many elements are in this formula and what are those elements? How many elements are in this formula and what are they? Pause the video and have a go. Here we have iron. We have 2 lots of iron and 3 lots of oxygen. Okay, 2 lots of iron and 3 lots of oxygen. So the elements in this compound are iron and oxygen, and we have 2 iron and 3 lots of oxygen. Another example here, we got CaOH2. How many elements are here? What elements are in it? And how many are they? Pause the video and have a go. So we have calcium, oxygen, and hydrogen. 1 atom of calcium, 2 lots of oxygen, and 2 lots of hydrogen. Now, remember I spoke about state symbols. I said that when we write symbol equation, it's important that we add state symbols to it to indicate the state of the individual elements in that reaction. And so when we write state symbol, we add symbol, we write symbol equation, we add state symbol to it. And that shows whether the reactants are solid, liquid, gas, or they are dissolved in solution. So we show that the reactant is solid. If it is solid, we represent that by S. If it is liquid, that is indicated by L in bracket. If it's a gas, it is G in bracket. And if it is dissolved in water, it is AQ. So these are the four state symbols, S, L, G, AQ. AQ means that that stain compound is dissolved in water. Again, let's go back to our sulfur, the S plus O2 to form SO2. In this case, if we add state symbols, we will show that the sulfur is solid, the oxygen is a gas, and our product is also a gas. The sulfur dioxide is a gas. So because this sulfur is a solid, we have S in bracket in front of it. The O2 is a gas, we have G in front of it, and the SO2 also have G, which indicates that it is a gas. Okay, so we'll pause here, and in our next video, we will look at half equations. Half equations.